Hello everyone, this is an update on my 1967 New York Mets Strat O Matic Super Advanced Replay. In this video, we will talk about games 126 through 129, 4 games played against the St. Louis Cardinals, and the Mets got swept. And here's how it happened. In game 126, starting pitchers were Jack Fisher for the Mets and lefty Steve Carlton for the Cardinals. The Mets drew first blood in the 4th inning when Bob Johnson reached on a Phil Galliano error. Went to second on a Tommy Davis single, went to third on a wild pitch, and then Ron Swoboda hit a deep fly ball that was caught but was deep enough to score Davis for his 28th RBI. Cardinals came right back in the bottom half of the inning. Curt Flood reached on a single, went to second on a wild pitch, and then scores on a 2-out double by some people think is the worst color commentator in baseball history, Tim McCarver. The Cardinals took the lead for good in the 6th, the leadoff single by Brock, but he was caught stealing. But the Cardinals put a 1-out rally together after that. Singles by Flood and Maris, and then the baby bull, Orlando Cepeda, doubled home Flood, and then Maris would score on McCarver's RBI groundout, his 2nd RBI of the game. The Cardinals added 2 more in the 7th inning, to make the final score 6-1. Fisher got the loss. Carlton went the distance, giving up 3 hits and striking out 5. Great game for Carlton. In game 127, this was the second game of a doubleheader, so it was Bob Henley, the lefty, versus Jack LeMahieu, the former Met. The scoring starting the 2nd inning with back-to-back doubles by Orlando Cepeda and Alex Johnson to put the Cardinals up 1-0. And then with 2 outs, Del Maxfield singled home Alex Johnson to give the Cardinals a 2-0 lead. The Cardinals added a 3rd run when Curt Flood hit a 2-out double, and then Cepeda once again with coming through with a base hit, singling home Curt Flood, ending this all scoring for the Cardinals. The Mets added a run in the 4th inning when Swoboda led off with a single, and then 2 straight singles loaded the bases, but the Mets could only muster 1 run on an Ed Charles sacrifice fly. Henley gets the loss, and LeMahieu gets the win, and Joe Horner with the save. After game 127, the New York Mets record is 51-76. Game 128 was your 1-0 game that usually happens in many of these replays due to the great pitching overpowering great hitting. This was that game. Cal Kuntz got the short end of the stick in this game against Dick Hughes. The only scoring was in the 4th inning when a 1-out double by McCarver, and then he was brought home with a 2-out single by Galliano. Both pitchers only go the distance. Dick Hughes only gave up 2 hits. He gave up a leadoff single by Harrelson in the 7th, and then a 2-out pinch hit single by Larry Stahl. The Cardinals win 1-0. And finally, in game 129, the Cardinals brought out the whooping sticks. Danny Frisella was the guy on the short end, very short end here, against Larry Jaster. And it started off in the 1st inning. Leadoff walk to Lou Brock, which probably should have been a harbinger of things to come. But the next 2 guys struck out, but then a 2-out rally. 2 singles load the bases, and then Galliano gets walked himself to bring home the 1st run of the game. In the bottom half of the 3rd, this is not a replay, but back-to-back doubles by Maris and Cepeda make it 2-0, and then an RBI single by McCarver makes it 3-0. The Mets try to keep it close. They score their only run in the 4th inning, Tommy Davis with the leadoff single. Swoboda follows with a double, and then Ed Charles with another sacrifice fly makes the score 3-1. The Cardinals pad the lead in the 5th with a 1-out walk to Maris, and then Cepeda hits one in the gap, and they try to get the relay home to get Cepeda, and it was unsuccessful, and Cepeda then goes to 3rd on the throw, and then Tim McCarver with his 4th RBI of the series singles home Cepeda for 5-1. Roger Maris added a 2-run homer in the 6th to make it 7-1, and then the Mets decided to play the Keystone Cops and make errors all over the place in the 7th inning, led to 2 more runs to make it a 9-1 final. Frisella gets the loss, giving up 5 runs in 4 1/3 innings. And then Don Cardwell gave up 2 runs as well. And then Dick Selma, the unfortunate recipient of bad defense, giving up 2 unearned runs. Larry Jaster only goes 7 innings because he faced a lot of batters. 4 hits, 2 walks, 1 of them intentional, and 2 strikeouts. And then Nelson Briles finishes the last 2 innings, cleaning up the rest of the game. The Mets' record is 51-78 after 129 games. Now, I had mentioned in the last video that I had thought that there was something happened where the Mets and Cubs only played a 1-game series. Well, come to find out, it was supposed to be a 4-game series, but rain washed out 3 out of the 4. And since the Mets and the Cubs did not play at Shea the rest of the year, the next 1 or 2 videos, I haven't decided yet, is a 7-game series with the Cubs and the Mets featuring 3 doubleheaders. So that will be further on down the line from what I'm going to be putting out. All right, that's it from here. If you like what you see, please make sure you hit the like button. And if you would like to, please subscribe and hit the little bell icon so you'll be notified when my videos come out. And as I always say, may your dice be lively and your rolls be good.